Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. This is Bora Bliss. Today, I'd like to start this segment by saying a very funny joke. I mean, it's funny to me, and I hope it is to you. So, the joke goes like this. Um, a wife asked her husband, and she's like, "Would you still love me if I were old, fat, and ugly?" And the husband's response, he says, "Of course I would. I do now, don't I?" Ouch. Yeah, that's painful. I wonder what will be going through the woman's head at that time. She'll be like, "What are you trying to say? I'm fat right now, and I'm ugly and old," because she's trying to find some type of validation, and he's like, um "I'm already giving it to you. That's what you're looking for. You're like that." So, but anyway, please don't do that at home. Don't go tell your wife she's fat. Don't tell her she's ugly. Don't tell her she's um what's the word? Yeah, don't tell her those things. She's gonna be very upset with you, and you're not gonna be a happy man. No woman wants to be told she's fat or ugly or that she's getting old. Like, nah, you're gonna spoil everything. Okay, so cool. Um, so what we're gonna be talking about today, we're gonna be addressing a common reason a lot of women give as to why they don't honor or respect their special man, their spouses, their husbands, the men in their lives. Um, I mean, a lot of people have all kinds of reasons. They have many reasons to justify their actions as to why they do what they do. Again, I cannot stop you or force you or change your actions or change whatever you want to do. By the end of the day, you're an adult and you're going to do whatever you decide to do. I'm just here to highlight some things that I feel may be contributing to your unhappiness and maybe contributing to the problems you're having in your relationships, and wanting you to make take some time and do some type of reflection and see if maybe making some type of adjustments can improve your relationship, not only with yourself but with your husband, your children, with people around you. So a lot of women claim that their men are undeserving. They also claim that their men are foolish and incapable of making wise decisions. Some women, unfortunately, they outrightly hate men. They despise men. They don't want to have anything to do with men. And my question to those women is like, okay, why did you get married? Or why do you have a man in your life? So let's start with the first reason that I just mentioned. My man is undeserving of respect. This is a tough one because I don't know. I feel everybody deserves respect. As long as you're a human being, you deserve respect. Even though it's just the natural thing to do. Even if you find a homeless man on the street, anybody, you have to at least try give the person some type of respect. Don't just put people put people down and try to always humiliate them. I mean that's wrong. But for our discussion today, what happens usually in marriages or in relationships with men and women, where what happens is that a lot of times the woman would have a set form of expectations. Um, she expects her man to be something or to be able to fulfill some type of conditions that she has built or she has created. And for some reason or another, he falls short in those areas where she has placed great value and emphasis and importance. The man may know this or he may not, but to her, these things are extremely important. But he falls short. Life happens. Um, Maybe he's falling short on purpose, or maybe life conditions, right? And for some weird reason, for one reason or another, he's falling short. He's not able to meet up to her expectations. He's not able to meet up to her demands. As a result, what happens is that she concludes in her head that he's not deserving of her respect and that he's not fit enough to be a man. What begins to happen is that she begins to sabotage all his efforts to lead the home. She begins to sabotage his efforts to protect her, to protect the children, to protect the home, to lead. She would begin to whine and nag the man, and she would just pull him down with her mouth, with her actions, with her attitude. She would just wear him out. She would use her mouth as a weapon of change, or maybe I should say a weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, because when she uses her mouth in a terrible way, she's literally tearing this man's life. She's tearing it down with her words. So, yeah, that's not good. So she's under the delusion that when she whips him with her mouth, that he'll change, that he'll miraculously begin to meet her demands. But unfortunately, this is very far from the truth. All her actions will end up doing it would only make him more angry, make him more frustrated, make him more sad and miserable. And he'll resist and despise her even further. A good example of this is, for example, like if a man is unable to get a job for whatever reason. Maybe he doesn't want to work. I don't know. I doubt that's the case, because a lot of men want to show that they can provide for their families. Or maybe nobody's hiring him. Maybe. We don't know exactly what could be the problem, but in this particular example, he's not able to work. Or maybe he's sick, whatever the situation may be. Now, the woman feels that he's lacking in his duties and responsibilities as a man. She's filled with disappointment in his performance as a man. He's not able to contribute financially like she wants him to. He's not able to, you know what? Maybe that's not even a very good example. It is a good example, but I think this other one will be better. Let's say a man is working. He's working, yeah, but he's not able to provide as much money as she wants, right? Let's say maybe he's making, I'm just throwing out a number there, $5,000. And she's like, no, you're supposed to be bringing $20,000, right? But where's the man going to go bring the $20,000 from? This is what he's able to earn at this time. And as a result of that, she feels he's not deserving of her respect because he's not able to meet her demands of $20,000 in monthly revenue or wages, whatever. And she resorts to just killing his spirit because he's not able to meet her demands, her financial or monetary demands, materialistic demands. She wants this car and he's not able to provide that car. Now he's not deserving. He does not deserve her respect because he's not up to the standard she wants him to be. He's not able to give her the kind of money she wants. Because of that, he's less of a man. Okay, she's disappointed in him, in his performance, in his efforts as a man. She's like, oh, you man, don't you see what other men are doing? Um, they're buying Lamborghinis for their wives and their girlfriends, and you can buy me nothing. You buy me this like terrible cheap Toyota. I'm not saying Toyotas are cheap, but anyhow, I'm just giving an example there. And she just kills this man. She's not accepting him for who he is today and what he can be tomorrow. And she just sees he's I don't know. She just sees him as a money purse, a money bag. And if he's not high enough when it comes to his money, oh my goodness, he's in big trouble. So she just wears him out with her mouth, with her actions, with her attitude. She just destroys this man. She kills his spirit. She literally just wears him out, and he doesn't even know what to do with himself. Okay. And then so with this, whenever he tries to exert his authority in the home, or with the children, or even with her, he's painfully, let me use the word, painfully reminded by the woman that he's a failure, and as such he should have no voice or say when it comes to leading the family, when it comes to protecting her, when it comes to protecting the children, when it comes to leading the home. He has no say because he's not been able to satisfy her demands. I'm gonna say this is a very wrong move. It will only lead to more what's the word to use, basically to just go down the drain. It will lead to a very toxic relationship. Okay, very toxic relationship. You as a woman, if you're doing that, I just want to let you know you can't get him to meet your expectations or grow or make him grow or to be the best version of himself. When you do that, basically you're just bringing out the worst in him. You're killing him. Just like the Bible says, there's power there's power in the words, in your words. Life and death is in the tongue. So whenever you're speaking terrible things and just belittling him and just tear him down with your words, you're killing him, and that doesn't show you love him. And you may say you love him all day long, but if it does not reflect in your words and in your actions, then I don't know, you're messing things up. Okay, so let's move on to another reason. Another reason some women feel that their men are undeserving is because somehow in their minds they feel the man is very foolish or weak. Okay, and we usually see this most especially if the men are very gentle or soft spoken. Okay, or if the man has made bad decisions in the past, the women become very unforgiving, and they constantly bring up the issue again and again and again to ridicule the man. It's kind of like put him in his place, like, oh yeah, you sorry, excuse my French, you effed up once. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep reminding you of your terrible error in judgment, and I will never forgive you for that, and you're gonna keep suffering for it. So basically just keep this man in a loop, and we're just going to keep flogging him for the same thing he's done. Okay, they tell him how stupid he is, and it's worse if they try to give him some type of heads up or warning, but he chose to do it anyway. And I mean, you wouldn't fault him or blame him. One, he's not God. He can't see the future. He did what he thought was best at the time for himself, his wife, his children, his family. A man's first responsibility is his family. And every good man, or most men, would do that. Again, I know there are some exceptions, and that's not the norm. Most men would do or make the best decision, will try to make the best decision for their family. So if for some weird reason it doesn't come out right, look, he was not out there saying, you know what, I'm going to destroy my wife, I'm going to destroy my children, because he knows that if he destroys them, he's destroying himself. No good man would do that. No wise man would do that. And most men, I believe, are good at heart, and they would not do that. Okay? So, if God forbid he fell into that whole mess, like he made a bad decision and the wife had tried to warn him and whatever, I'm telling you, this man, he would pay dearly for it, because this lady, this woman, she would ensure that she disciplines him again with her mouth, because that's where most of her strength lies. She knows that she doesn't have like the physical strength. 95% of the time she doesn't have the physical strength to attack him. She may try, but the odds of her actually, like, if they were going to like fight side by side, the chances are very high that he would beat her up. Okay? And many times she's aggravating him and pushing him to do that. Again, please don't do that. If you're a woman, don't do that. So a lot of times she would just use her mouth as a weapon, and she would just whip him down. Okay? Again, this is a wrong move. If you're a woman and you're doing this, please stop it. He'll begin to resent you, and he'll slowly disconnect from you and from the relationship. And you begin to wonder, oh, what's happening? He's not talking to me. He's not opening up to me anymore. But what do you expect? You're whipping him with your mouth. And when it comes time to make decisions in the future, he begins to shut down. He doesn't want a place in that, or he doesn't want a part in making decisions, because he knows that, God forbid, it doesn't go right, he's going to get disciplined for it by you. Okay? So please, women, watch out for that. And then also, if he's very soft and tender, I've also seen this happen a lot. If the man is very soft and tender, the woman automatically concludes that, oh, he's weak, and then she begins to treat him very poorly. She begins to take him for granted. She looks down on him. She just I don't know. She just begins to want to just lord over him, right? And begins to treat him like he's a child, like he has no voice, he has no say, like he's stupid. He would say a thing and the woman is like, no, this is the way it is, this is the way it should be done. But she just lords over him like she's his mom. And it's very unfortunate, because some women, when they see a man who is kind and gentle and loving, they automatically just go, oh, he's weak. And because he's weak, she wants to take advantage of that. But unfortunately, or if you see what really happens in the world, is that this same woman who treats this not poor, but like this gentle, kind, sweet man who treats him very poorly, they would treat a man like a mean man, a man who is, oh my goodness, this man is mean. He would yell at them, he would shout at them, he would scream, he would they would respect this man, they would honor this man, they would exalt this man, they'll be all over, like they would, oh my goodness, they will sweep the ground for this man, they would elevate him to such a high pedestal. And you're like, what? Are you not the same person who was so mean to that guy? He was so sweet to you, he was so loving, he was so gentle, he would not even raise his voice at you, and you just threw him under the bus, right? You will not even give him any audience. He had no voice, he had no say in your life. But this other guy there who's treating you like trash, now for some weird reason you see it as like you make every effort, okay, to please him. It's like this guy becomes a trophy that you are working so hard to win, okay? But the low-hanging fruit that loved you and was just doing everything for you, like, nah, you don't deserve it, you're trash, I don't want you, bye. and you walk away and you leave that guy heartbroken, which is what I see a lot of times. And it's really sad, really, really sad when we see this happening. And then that woman goes around, oh, there are no good men in the world. There are no good men in the world. Well, you had a chance. You had a chance with a good guy, but you threw him away because of your wrong thinking, because of your flawed way of thinking. Okay? So I make a confession. Like, I had to learn this myself. My husband is a very soft-spoken man. I mean, I didn't disrespect my husband or anything like that, but he's a very soft-spoken man. He doesn't yell, he doesn't scream, he doesn't do any of that. Very loving, very gentle, and I respect him so much. But I remember when we had first started, because I was used to men being loud and like being very forceful with me. But now I'm with this guy who doesn't yell, who's not forceful, who's very gentle. And I saw this as a weakness. But weakness not like by disrespecting him. I mean, in my head, I wasn't disrespecting him, but he felt disrespected because he would tell me things to do and I wouldn't do it. Because I just felt like, oh, he was not serious. He didn't mean it because he didn't yell. Right? One specific example was we went out to get a car. We got a car. Okay, yeah, we went to the dealership. And I kept asking him, oh, sweetheart, what car should we get? And he was like, oh, we should get this one. This the SUV. We should get the SUV. And I was like, what about this one? He was like, well, if that's what you want. And I kept asking him over and over again, like, which one should we get? And he kept saying the same thing, like, this is the one we should get. We should get the SUV. But in my head, I felt, oh, he's not yelling, he's not screaming, he's not shouting, he's not saying, oh, I'm the man, you must do what I want. So I just felt, oh, he was not serious. He didn't mean it. And I went ahead and I got this other, the smaller car, the sedan. Anyway, this car gave a lot of trouble. And he would sometimes he'd be like, well, if you had listened to me. And I was like, but you are the man. You're supposed to have said that to me. You're supposed to have said, I'm the man, and we do what I say, things like that. Like, but he's like, I don't do that. I don't roll like that. You do what you want to do. You asked for my opinion and I told you, but you didn't listen to me. And so I had to learn that, okay, my husband is not the forceful type. He's not the type who would go about trying to exert his authority and like push it down my throat. You are the woman, you must listen to me. Whatever I say, you must do. I mean, bow down to me. No, my husband, he's not like that. He's not. And some women, when they find themselves with men like that, they tend to not realize when they cross the boundary and begin to maybe not outwardly disrespect him, but with their actions, they begin to tell the man that his voice does not count. So I had to learn. So now, when my husband says a thing, he does not have to yell. He does not have to shout. He does not have to tell me, I'm the man. You must listen to me. Whatever I say, you must do. My husband doesn't have to say that. Like, once he says it with his calm, gentle, lovely, amazing voice, I listen and I do it. Okay? I follow through. I'm like, okay, this is what my husband says, and let me go ahead and do it. He does not have to break walls or break doors to get my attention. And a man really values that. He does not have to break his back just trying to get you to do what you need to do as a woman. My sisters, I share that not to make anybody feel bad or whatever. Again, I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. Okay? And if I come out there saying I'm perfect, I'm lying. And I'll be doing you a great disservice. We all learn. So if you're making this mistake, you have a gentle man, and you're taking his gentleness as weakness, please, please, please. Again, reconsider your actions. Do an assessment of what's going on. If you feel like, oh, everything is okay, why is my husband getting cold? This could be a reason, because he's speaking but you're not hearing, you're not listening, because you think he's gentle and you can just move him and push him around. Wrong, terrible move. So please change your ways, okay? Another reason that I think women say their men is undeserving, and to me this reason, this is the worst. This is the worst, because this particular group of women have a deep-seated grievance, anger, hatred, and annoyance towards men. They just hate men. They hate men. Okay? For whatever reason, they hate men. They see men as the primary enemy of their lives. They feel all the suffering that they have endured is the result of men. They may not necessarily show this disdain and hatred for men at their workplace, at their churches, the organizations where they find themselves, even their fathers. Some of them will still have good relationships with their fathers, uncles, brothers, and stuff like that. But for some weird reason, they would inflict, and I said would inflict, unimaginable injury to their romantic partners, to their husbands, to the ones that they have committed to in a relationship. They see their husbands as the representative of manhood who must suffer for the crimes of all men. Okay? So basically killing the man, killing their own husbands, who represents all men. All men are bad, so this one must suffer for them all. Yeah. Very sad and very, very unfortunate, and I see this all the time. These women are very, very vicious. They're vicious. So we're going to continue talking about these women who hate men. We're going to talk about them more. We're going to go into details more next week. And we're going to explore why they think the way they think, why they do what they do, and how it affects the men, how it affects the relationship dynamics in the family, in home. And hopefully, if you're one of those women, you have a change of heart, and you begin to see that, look, it's not going to benefit you in the long run. It's not helping anybody. You end up actually hurting yourself in the family. So we're going to go deeper into that next week. Okay? But for now, I just want to say thank you again for your time. Thank you for spending time with me, for listening to what I have to say. Again, it's your choice. You take the advice I give, or you leave it. It's your life. But we're out here trying to help women to wake up, to live up to their maximum potentials. We're helping women to realize that, you know what, it does not help us, it does not favor us to continue in the behaviors that is hurting us, it's hurting our men, it's hurting our families, it's hurting our societies. We have to walk in our strengths, we have to walk in our power. And this is definitely an aspect that we must consider. Okay? So once again, thank you so much, and talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Peace. Bye-bye.